Have you ever gone somewhere that you've never been before, or done something you've never done before? For me, that's driving on the beach. This trip, we started in Long Beach, Washington, and we traveled all the way down the Oregon coast to California. Part of the draw to the outdoors and adventures is the spirit of adventure, and that's what we look for every time we go out. We look for the new sights, the new experiences that just keep you coming back looking for more and more. This trip wasn't completely on the beach, but we did drive the entire 23-mile peninsula. We visited lighthouses and old forts. We found a shipwreck. We enjoyed the beautiful forest and rock formations all down the coast. We're from the East Coast, and I've never really been a big beach fan. I've never seen the draw to laying in the sand all day, getting sand in all the cracks and crevices that you don't really want it in, and then just getting toasted by the sun all day long. But I will say, the West Coast beaches are way different, and I can't get enough of it. The beautiful rock formations and forest that's always so green, it's just something that everybody should see at least once in their life, in my opinion. I hope you enjoyed this video and this trip. We camped 2 nights and we truly had a blast. Please like, follow, and subscribe. We are trying to grow our channel. We are on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We appreciate your support. Enjoy the video, and we'll see you on the next adventure. Good morning, guys. It is Will from Adventure the Whole Way. Kaylee's on the camera. It is Sunday, March the 1st. We are in South Bend, Washington, close to Long Beach, Washington. This is our Long Beach, Washington, and full Oregon coast trip. So we got here late last night. After getting off work, we left home at like 9:45. Got here at like 1 a.m. We camped. Everything's packed up and we're ready to start the day. So come along with us and enjoy the coast with us. So let's see what we find. So we've left camp. These roads we're on here are the state of Washington lands, public lands. to come up to the lakes. The campgrounds up here are free. They look like tent campgrounds, but on these roads there were several pull-offs that you could car camp in, which is what we did. We're like 17 miles from Long Beach, which is our first stop today. But we're mapping this trail. We're Onyx trail guides, and they weren't mapped, so we're mapping it so other people can get in here and see it as well. But stick with us, and we'll see you at Long Beach. All right, we have made it to Long Beach, the world's longest beach.
Turn sharp right onto unnamed road, then turn sharp left onto unnamed road.
All right, out here it's a 28-mile stretch of beach you can ride on. Probably gonna air down right up here. I've seen videos of Jeeps, trucks, all kinds of stuff doing it, and then I've also seen a video of a minivan out here. So if you go all the way to the end, there's an old shipwreck. The ship's name was Alice, but I think it's pretty much been swallowed up by the sand, and it's kind of hit or miss if you'll ever see that one. There's another one down the coast a little ways in Oregon we're going to try to go to. That's the Peter Iredale shipwreck. But yeah, let's get out on the beach and have some fun. All right, so this is my first time ever driving on a beach. It's pretty cool. Right here where the tide came in last night, it's a little softer. Might stay up on the harder side. Decided against airing down because I didn't want to air back up. This trip we're going to be doing a lot of Highway 101 all the way down the coast. So if we don't absolutely have to air down, I'd prefer not to. Go get it. Good girl. Come in, Marcy. Sit. 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 Good girls. Good girls. Hey. Okay, we have made it to the end of the beach. We're almost to the point, and we'll be able to look back on the other side of the peninsula. There's water as well. Definitely wouldn't want to be out here when the tide comes in. And the sand out here on this end is a lot deeper, so it's a lot tougher riding once you get to the end. Looks like we've went about 20.7, so almost 21 miles out, and the other distance is going to be back the opposite way towards Cape Disappointment, where the lighthouse is. This 20.8 that we've done has taken us an hour and 8 minutes. no-go. Tough work on your vehicle going through the sand. So it's not something I do all the time, but it's been really cool. I'm trying to get right up here so we can get a shot of the water on both sides, and then I'm gonna spin around and head back. There's not an exit on this end, so we're gonna have to backtrack probably. I think the last one was somewhere, I don't know, 5 miles back or so. So I'll keep track of that and give you an update on that in case you want to come out here and do this. You can plan accordingly and know how far you gotta go to get back to an exit. But if you've never done it, I definitely recommend it. Got some snowcap out there. Alright, so now we're in Cape Disappointment State Park at the North Head Lighthouse Trail. Super easy little hike out to it. Cool views up here at the little viewpoint. Alright, standing here, I'm looking at Long Beach where we just did the beach drive. And then beyond that, you can see the snow-capped Olympic Mountains up by Olympic National Park. Standing at the base of the lighthouse. And then that's the coastal mountains of Oregon over there. So it's very pretty, very cool. What you think?
It's a pretty neat stop.
So from here, we're going to go over to Oregon, do another little 10-mile beach ride to a shipwreck. Check that out. This is Fort Canby at the Interpretive Center in Cape Disappointment State Park.
It's kind of eerie.
Fountain over there. This is where they would have stored their munitions. Well, that was pretty neat. Alright, guys, we finished up our hike at the North Head Lighthouse Trail, and then we rode over to the Cape Disappointment Interpretive Center, still within the state park there. Picked up a couple patches, and now we are crossing the bridge. And when we hit the other side, we'll be in Astoria. Um, Astoria is the oldest town in Oregon and was a center for the fur trade way back in the day. Uh, so there's a lot of historical prominence to the city of Astoria. But from this point, the rest of the trip is going to be along the Oregon coast. We're crossing the bridge here and headed over to Sunset Beach area, where we're going to do another little 10-mile.
Turn right onto US 101 toward Astoria Seaside.
Sorry, the iPad's giving me directions there, but we're going to Sunset Beach.
Turn right onto US 101 toward Astoria Seaside.
And we're going to do 10-mile beach ride to the Peter Iredale shipwreck. Got massive St. Helens snow-capped over there.
Continue on for 4.3 miles.
But I love bridges, and this is a pretty cool bridge. Yep, that's Mount Adams and Mount St. Helens over there. All white and snow-capped. And a pretty green bridge. And I think our next stop is about 17 minutes away. And then it took us longer than I thought this morning to do our beach drive. So going 10 miles, that'll probably take us a half hour or so, I would think, to drive down and try to find the shipwreck. So stick with us, and now we're going to be in Oregon and see what the trip holds for us. All right, so we've made it over to Sunset Beach. This one is four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive recommended. It's a popular spot for people to just pull out and watch the sunset. But we're going to be going 10 miles down the beach to the Peter Iredale shipwreck. I forget exactly when it wrecked, but it's in the sand mostly swallowed up by it. Just the bow of it sticks out a little bit. So we will see what it looks like when we get to it. All right, this is Sunset Beach, and this is the Peter Iredale shipwreck. I put some info on the screen about it as far as what year it became shipwrecked and all that good stuff. There you see the mountains on the Oregon coast. We're going to drive down through all of that later this trip, but this is why we stopped here. I put some info in the screen, like I said, but I believe it was a French merchant ship. That's crazy. For size, there's the width of the front. It's just been swallowed up by the sand. Pieces of it sticking up here and there. More of it here, here. And I'm assuming this was the back of the ship right here. Who knows? Maybe more of it. But how's this for visioning the whole ship sitting here? It's pretty wild. Get some pictures and then maybe I can get the drone up. There's a lot of people out. We'll see. Checked out the shipwreck, but there was something in the news a month or so ago, a couple months, about a whale that washed up, and it's actually right here. So look at the size of that thing. It's crazy. You can still see the fin on the back is very fish fin looking still. The rest of it's kind of decayed quite a bit, but yeah, it's possibly part of the jaw, maybe right there. Sad for the whale, but it's to see how big it was. It's kind of cool. All right, so now we're gonna head back out of here the way we came, and we got about 30 to 45 minutes down Highway 101 past Cannon Beach to Hug Point. That's our next stop. Spoiler alert, there's a waterfall that feeds into the ocean, so we're gonna go check that out, and then probably dinner at Moe's after that, or either we're gonna ride an hour and a half further to Lincoln City area and eat at the Moe's there, one or the other. So probably the one in Cannon Beach. So stick with us, come along. It's getting good. All right, so that is the end of our beach riding. So real quick, just stopping to spray the sand and salt out of the wheels and off the undercarriage, and then we're going to be back on the road. Give us 4 minutes here. That ought to be enough. You got to take care of it. If you don't, it'll never last.
Not the funnest thing to do, but highly necessary.
Alright, guys, so the drone footage you just saw was our intended stop. That's Hug Point Beach. The road into the beach appears to be kind of washed out, and it's closed. It said no access for vehicles or hiking. Um, so I put the drone up. There were people on the beach, and I think they walked from the trailhead a couple miles up. But we're not going to do that today. I did want to fly the drone over. It's a really cool looking spot, and we'll probably revisit that one in the future sometime. But for now, we are headed to Cannon Beach, to Tulovana Park. I think is how you say it. But we are going to Moe's Seafood and Chowder. So if you're ever in the area, I definitely recommend the Cannonball, which is a sourdough bread bowl full of seafood chowder. And throw in a couple grilled blackened shrimp skewers. Yeah, we about to chow down. So I'll insert a picture of my plate here for you to make you hungry. But we're gonna eat, and then we're gonna head to camp. Camp's in Lincoln City. There's some weather coming in. It's sprinkling a little bit, so we're probably gonna get rained on, but that's okay. It's all part of the adventure, and we'll see you after a while. Phew! Well, Moe's was a tremendous success. We are both really full. Might regret it later, but right now I'm appreciative of it. And we are headed south on 101 from the Cannon Beach area towards Lincoln City. Um, in Lincoln City, we did our first hike we ever did in Oregon when we were up here on a vacation. We did God's Thumb, which is an amazing hike. And we're going to be camped probably 10 miles from there tonight. So when we hiked it the first time, it was extremely overcast and misting, and I think it even started raining at one point, but it was so foggy from the top you could hardly even see the bottom by the water. It was still a great hike, but with the weather coming in tonight, I think we've pretty much decided we'll do that hike again if it's nice weather and sunny and we'll have a view. If not, we're going to push on. I think we're going to add a stop. We're going to add the natural bridges at Samuel Boardman State Park down in the almost at the very bottom of Oregon. We'll be going right by it anyway. We've never been and we've always wanted to go. But since we couldn't hike out to Hug Point, I think we're going to add that stop. So tomorrow I'll still have a lot. Tonight we're just going to be driving to camp. It'll be dark soon. So if we get set up and start a fire pit and everything, I might do a video at camp. If not, we'll see you in the morning. And yeah, tomorrow's day 2. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be full of stuff. So stick with us.
Can't see the road.
Good morning, guys. So the campsite that I picked last night, man, it was awesome. It had a beautiful view of Lincoln City all the way to the ocean. And when we got here, somebody else had it. So we ended up here in this little dead end of a road. It's a nice wide flat spot. The ocean and Lincoln City's right out that way, but it's foggy this morning. You can't see it. So we've packed up the tent, getting breakfast going. Gonna do some bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches. And like I said in the other video with the fog, we're not gonna go hike God's Thumb this morning because we've already done it in the fog. So our first stop from here is gonna be Sea Lion Caves. Then from there we'll swing by the Oregon Dunes, sand dunes at the beach. Then from there we're going to natural bridges down at the Samuel Boardman State Park. And then our last stop is the Oregon Redwoods Trail. We're going to map that route for Onyx, and then we're going to do that hike, and that'll be the end of our day. And it'll be time to head back home. But should be a good day. Should be lots of sights. Kind of moody, foggy, eerie coastline all day long. So we'll see what we find. But for now, bacon, egg, and cheese, coffee, good to go. Bacon, egg, and cheesy, oh cheesy.
Good morning.
All right, we have everything packed and loaded. We had breakfast. We are rolling out of camp here. It was dark last night when we came in, so we didn't see any of this. Up this really steep hill is the campsite I wanted. We went up there. It was already taken, but where we ended up wasn't too bad. Now
In
we're
less
gonna
than a mile, turn right onto Osterman Cabin.
bumpy. Now we're gonna head back down and jump back on 101 and drive south for about 2 hours to Sea Lion Caves. This big hole filled up with water overnight. And then we'll see you at the Sea Lion Caves. That's the next stop. So the But you see some of these coastal woods we drove into last night. This is Susalaw National Forest. Probably saying it wrong, but yep. All right, let's roll. Pit stop. This is Devil's Punchbowl. And there's also a Moe's location right here. So come get you something to eat. Check out the Punchbowl. I think that's the actual bowl. Ah, there it is. Yeah, that's not it either. Stay tuned.
There's the Punchbowl. All right, I was going to fly the drone through the Punchbowl. I feel like that would be an awesome video, except for no drones allowed. It is a nesting area, so no drone footage from here. But still pretty cool to see. I'd like to see the swells come in and fill it up with water. All right. We have made it to the Sea Lion Caves. I'm gonna step in here, and then there's stairs that lead down into the cave, and then there's a fence dividing the people from the sea lions. But we're gonna check it out and see what it's all about. All right, so it's $18 a person to go down into the cave. Walk into the elevator to go into it. There's a cool little lighthouse. It's the world's largest sea cave. Let me. Okay. You step out and into the cave, and it smells like a minnow bucket. It's very loud. Alright, I'm about to unplug the mic so you can get a sense of how loud it is in here. Mm-hmm. Fight through the waves coming in. Alright, you can still see the seals swimming around down there and laying on the rock. As you come up this staircase, there's a couple little exhibits. Then you have a viewpoint here. You got a waterfall coming out the rocks, all the way out to the lighthouse there. See one climbing the rock over there right now. Oh, he fell back in. There he goes. He's trying. Yep, made it up. King of the Rock. Alright, Sea Lion Cave's done. It was pretty cool. We got some patches. What you think about it?
I could have stayed there all day, listening to them bellow in the cave and it echo. Pretty neat.
Alright, next stop is going to be probably some ice cream in one of these little beach towns. And I think Oregon Dunes on the beach, National Recreation Area. And then from there, Natural Bridges.
I got a penny.
Collector's Penny Pressed. Let's go, see what's next. So we're in Coos Bay, and it's not a beach trip without ice cream, so gotta have some ice cream. Alright, we are still headed down the coast of Oregon. It's getting very scenic, getting down into southern Oregon. We're less than 100 miles from California. Gotta love the rocky coast. We're headed for Natural Bridges in the Samuel H. Boardman State Park. It's very scenic, very cool place. It's been on our list for a while, and we haven't made it. So You can check that out. From there, I think we have like a 30-minute ride to the state border and to where we were going to map the road on Onyx for Oregon Redwoods Trail. It's probably going to be dark, so I don't know that we're going to map that trail in the dark. We'll see. But it says we'll be at Natural Bridges around 6:06, so we may be there for sunset. Not sure, but enjoying this ride, and even though the trip's coming close to an end, we're soaking up every last minute of it. So finish it out with us. Okay, we've made it to our next stop, which is Natural Bridges here in the Samuel H. Boardman State Scenic Corridor. Been wanting to come here for a while. It's sunset here at Natural Bridges. I flew the drone through the arches and didn't crash it, so it's a good day. Last bit of light, but we're gonna ride south, make it to the California line before it gets dark. What you think of Natural Bridges?
It's pretty neat. And you didn't crash the drone.
Yeah. Who crashed it this trip?
Not me.
Yes, you did. All right, let's go. This is an awesome place. If you're ever in Southern Oregon, check this out. Not just these two, but it continues around where you can't see the trail. There is a trail down there to walk on those, but you're not supposed to. So we did not do that. But we did check it out. So on to the next thing. All right, this was our final stop. Oregon Redwoods Trail. We made it all the way as it got dark. We were driving and watching the sun go down, but there's massive redwood trees in here. There is a bathroom in this trailhead, several parking places, and a picnic table. Plenty of room to camp in the trailhead. Plus, it's all Siskiyou National Forest, so there's several pull-offs you could camp in. I think this is only this says it's a 3/4 mile loop, but All Trails I think puts it at 1.2. So, but just some massive trees like this one here goes way up. But something cool worth checking out if you're in the area. Redwood trees are amazing with how big they actually get. That one, I guess they can grow up to 373 feet. But there's some much bigger ones in California. But we were just there, and now that's a good looking Jeep right there. Makes it daylight out here. But yeah, from here we're gonna go back down this trail. It's like right at 5 miles. And when we get back down, we will do this last little kick right here. Let's see, touch it here. Give me a second. Oh, next isn't cooperating. It is 0.99 miles. So maybe 1.3 miles once we get back to the main road 101 to the California border. So when we get off the dirt, we'll go do that last mile so we can truly say we did the whole coast this trip. And we'll see you at the state sign. All right, so we did not see a sign that said "Welcome to California," but we did pass a agriculture checkpoint and a sign that said "Welcome to Del Norte County," which is the county here inside of California. So we have done it. We completed the whole Oregon coast trip, along with starting in Long Beach, Washington. The route that I had on Onyx was 472 miles long. We did a little bit more than that because we added a couple things. So around about 500 miles in 2 days. Lots of sights, lots of video, pictures of beautiful scenery. It's been a great time. 2 good nights of camping. We have burgers that we were going to cook, but it is now 7:25, and I got to be at work at 4 a.m., which is about 9 hours from now, and it's about a 7.5 hour ride home. So we're going to keep trucking. The fastest route is for us to go to Crescent City and cut through the edge of the Redwoods National and State Parks and hit Interstate 5 back up in Oregon through Grants Pass. So that's what we're going to do. That's probably it for this one. Thanks for joining us on the adventure. Thanks for watching. Like, follow, and subscribe. We try to go somewhere just about every week, and there'll be more videos, more adventures. Not next week, because it's a big week for us. We'll be getting the lift kit put on next week, so we may do like a day trip locally, but no big trip next week. But stay tuned for the next ones. We will see you on the flip side. What'd you think of the trip, Canby?
It was a great trip. We covered a lot of miles, and now we have the long haul back.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.